Hi, it's Barbara Fiametta, and it's April 9th at 1 o'clock a.m. I think I'll say it's April 8th. So tonight we're going to review Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and that's the topic for tonight. But first we'll play around a little bit. Let's bring you back. Hit the button. Yes. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, God, guys. Whew. Well, I'm kind of addicted to doing this. I had to wear my Superman sweatshirt tonight. I needed it. Lots going on. Drinking my little soda. So, people are actually seeing my videos. I don't know how. I don't understand how all this works, but I'm learning. And I'm so disappointed. Well, for anyone who's tuning in, my algorithm, I have to start with my algorithm. So my algorithm is spiritual growth for women. And I told you I'm picking women and sensitive, highly sensitive people, artists, indigo children that have grown. And I'm very distracted with what's going on in my life right now. So it's hard for me to say it authentically. But this that I'm feeling now is the reason that I'm doing this podcast. I want to do whatever I can to make sure that no one else goes through what I went through to the extreme that I did. And so yes, so we'll be talking about the event, and I like to do the spiritual lesson, and be patient with me tonight. I'm all over the place, so maybe we should pray first. So my one message is that God is real, and that's why I'm sitting before you. I really should be dead. A certain group of people wanted me to be dead so they could, they were already siphoning my energy, my blessings, my energy, and wanted to pick up on my biggest blessing, which is yet to come. And so I'm going to pray first. So here we go. Can you see my candle? I never know if you can see my candle. It's in there. I think I have to go back to my 99-cent candles. This one was more expensive, but it's not doing the job. So Lord, just now. Okay, so Lord, we come to you right now. Humbled before you, before the altar of your Christ consciousness, the spiritual heart of God. And let's call in all your emissaries, all your archangels, all your angels, and all our ancestors. And Mother, Father, God, feminine and masculine, I just thank you so much for saving me, for letting me speak my story, and for rolling out the red carpet for me to my new life with new people, new peeps, a new tribe, and another shot at my dreams. And I ask just now that everybody who is listening be touched by your loving, by your power, by your intelligence and creativity. And maybe they'll join the Passion Project 2026, 2027, 2028. And Lord, I ask that you place a special blessing upon the people who have been doing right and doing good and have morals and ethics and are kind and caring and treat people kind and caringly. I personally ask you, God, to bless these people, to expand their territory, to fulfill their dreams, and to bring people to them that need their help. And I ask that you crown them with the glory of the Christ. And Lord, I ask on behalf of all of us that you give us the strength to release those who have not served us well. The antichrists. They're all over the planet that do the bidding of the negativity. We ask that we be loosed from them and severed from their energy fields, and that we move forward without them. And we leave them to you, Lord, for your divine justice. And we know that you know how to do that perfectly. And so we thank you, we thank you, we thank you. And we ask you to purify our hearts even more, to bring us good people, good circumstances, health, and wealth in the form of lots of money. And just riches, your spiritual riches and the kingdom of God. And so it is. Amen. 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 So I needed that. You know, while I was doing that, I had a vision when we were all posting pictures of the Statue of Liberty during the election. I never knew that at her feet were a chain, a very thick chain that were on her ankles, but it was broken. And it's just lying there right on the foundation of the pedestal, if you want to look it up. I never knew that. It was exemplifying freedom, that she was free. And she's wearing sandals. So it came to mind while I was doing that. So yes, so my algorithm again are spiritual, that's amazing, spiritual sensitives that truly look to do good works and not cruel works, and that hang in there and persevere and push through everything. And for those that died in the process, for those that were not healthy enough to come out of their bondage and have left the planet, we pray for them, that they've moved on and that they're happy. And we ask them to be with us for strength. And we hope that we will redeem them as well as we redeem ourselves. So I am dealing with the throat chakra, my voice, this room, and also speaking the truth. And this is going to be a slow one tonight, guys. So I have my Superman shirt on because I needed some strength and strength in the world. And this was supposed to be a consecutive podcast where there was lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3. However, I lost my first few. I didn't download them in time. And they were the best ones. I looked better. I was freer. I had a better situation temporarily to stay at someone's house and house sit. I mean, for me, it's all the difference in the world. A bed that's firm. I can eat. I can drink water. I can take care of myself, which I can't do here. It makes such a difference. And I lost those. So I'm going to have to go back and review them. So I know now that people are just going to come in and not understand what I'm doing. So, and I'm too lazy right now to go through the whole thing. I just kind of wanted to share. Well, okay, so my first thing that I was talking about was to make God. Let me do this. So to make God number one. And I am an example of someone who was pulled out from the devil, saved to be able to speak before you and call out my Judases in a very meticulous manner, which is coming soon. I also started my book. There's way too many, 37 years full of facts that are actually coming back now of that was going on a much longer time than I realized. So it's abuse. It was abuse. It was worse than abuse. So that was number one. I posed, and then I posed baby steps and whatever projects or dreams that we have to go slow and take baby steps to earn each step so that you can have the next one and hold the energy for that. And I forgot what the third one was, to actually warn you, which is my main focus, is to warn you on how to, not focus, how to, I'm going to be stuttering here, guys, how to locate, not locate even, how to recognize these people who are out to, and I did write that down, they manifest their own things, dreams, whatever, with your energy. Who knew? You know, and they siphon your energy. They will, what's called harvest your energy is the term. And will, not just attempt, but will actually, they use magic, black magic, spells, to take your blessings, to block your blessings. And I realize now there were so many opportunities that were surrounding me, and they were just getting blocked every single place. And I understand now why. All that gossip and smear campaign, people just shut down to me. So there was a fourth thing. What was it, guys? What was it? Well, I put 0. 0 was, what was 0? Gratitude. No matter what it is, the smallest thing, to be grateful. Yes, my room is poison, but I'm out of the cold. It's kind of like the lesser of two evils, and I could do this podcast, and I am exhausted because I stay out all day, and I come back at night. I fall asleep in my transportation. So when I don't sleep right, it's all over my face. And so that's it with that. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, well, I had a bit of an ugly cry before I did this podcast, and I have my tissues for tears, the ugly tears, the happy tears, and the, what's the ugly cry? The ugly cry. And I put that right here. So those are my 2 supplies if you're joining the Passion Project. And I am so upset. I'm withholding stuff because I don't want to be morbid, but yet I can't hide it. I can't hide it. I am going to take one podcast, and I'm going to list from head to toe what has happened to my body, and what it looked like before I moved on to the slum property of this church where they did me in. I happened to have, oh, let me tell you. Okay, so I posted a video of me singing at a party, and it was about a few months after I moved on to the property. So I still had my essence with me. I was thinner. I was starting to put on weight because I didn't have the refrigerator and stove I told you about. I couldn't even cook in my own apartment. So, when I starve, I gain weight, which is kind of like third world country, little children. When you starve the body of food, it is afraid you're not going to feed it. So it stores the fat. So that's kind of what I've been doing for a long time. But if you look at the video, you will not see these cheeks falling down. You'll see beautiful skin. I still was just learning to sing. My friends were there cheering me on. I had my 2 musician friends, and I forgot I had that video. That video next to me here, and also even before this, right, I have another picture with Vice President Harris that visited us at the PCH fire shelters, which I was in. And I have a picture with her. And I wanted to meet her so badly. And I remember thinking, if I go up to her, I'm going to be on camera. I mean, everybody was shooting pictures. And I just had to overcome that. I said, I don't care. I really want to meet her. And so you'll see my hair is all matted. I mean, just homeless. And I was crying with her because I just kept telling her, I'm so sorry, that she didn't win. But when I look at the picture, it's like she was really ministering to me. She saw I was a wreck. She was telling me to hang in there. We're gonna win this no matter what. And I think it was just this moment with the 2 of us, of 2 women blessing each other. And I'll have to upload that picture for you. So anyway, so if you look at the video, it's really sweet. It was so fun, and I haven't had that in 15 years. When I ran away to hide, didn't know what was happening with the negative energy coming at me, I just isolated. I pulled away. I ended up disabled. I was with the homeless. I was just disabled. I was disabled, and then the elderly, and I just lost myself. So we'll talk about that some more. What I really, those of you who've been following me a little bit, is if you could pray for me. Like I said, I won't go from the head to toe. And it's so funny. After I was crying, I'm in the bathroom. I don't wear my hair fluffed out like this. This is not everyday hairdo. This is hair for the stage. I do this deliberately because I have to look at myself when I talk to you. And I'm trying to distract myself from my eyes. There's something wrong with my eyes. I can see it when I look at you. It's like something is like literally wrong with this eyeball. And this is not my face. This is stress. This is allergies to this junk. This is not eating all those years. This is being homeless. It's all here. And, I've gained a lot of weight. And I do want to say, in this year, I did lose 50. I will, at the end of April, I'm close to 50 pounds that I've lost. And the only thing about losing that much weight is my breasts are down to my knees. They were already low. But when you lose fat, they're going, and the stomach. And you can't really exercise fat off, and you have to snip it off. So what I'm upset about, so I'm distracted. I'm doing this with my hair because I'm distracting myself from looking at my face, because I've been looking at my podcasts, and it just hurts me to see this. It hurts me. And then I get enraged with these people. They made conscious choices to throw me under the bus. And I'm trusting divine justice. I am trusting divine justice. And, I did lose, believe it or not, for those of you who can't imagine looking at this, I've lost 90% of my hair with the stress. So I know it doesn't look it to you. But back here, it's just, I'm pulling it all up front. So that's another thing with stress is I had 90% more hair than this. So today and yesterday, I just have to share this. I have to share this for me. Don't even watch it, guys. So I went to the dentist yesterday. Now, the first thing, if you go downtown to San Pedro Street, where all the homeless are, I was talking to a friend of mine about this who was also homeless. He's getting bone grafts galore on his gums. And, dental work is so expensive. And I don't really have dental insurance. So I've had to let my teeth go. And they're gone. Cracked. Teeth have to come out. It's going to be bridges. It's just, I have so much work. And so I'm having a tooth pulled on Saturday. What else? They're going to do like a deep, deep cleaning because all my teeth are loose. I mean, this is stuff, guys, I read about. As I was picking at the tooth that really hurts, that's going to be pulled, I kind of was touching all my teeth and I could wiggle them. And, if your gums get really bad, which mine are, from the bacteria, not brushing my teeth enough and not eating right, and I have a lot of acid from my stomach. Oh gosh, guys, take care of your teeth. People who are homeless downtown, if you really paid attention, mostly everybody has dental problems. You'll see teeth missing in the front, yellow teeth. My friend and I noticed that. It's like that's what happens. Dental work is like the last thing today for so many of us because it is so expensive. And so I'm sad about that. I don't have the money. I'm going to have to do slow motion. And I just want her to try to, she said after the deep cleaning, she thinks that we can save, get them to stop wiggling around. But there's a lot of nerve. I'm stuttering. Things are very close to the nerves, so they have to come out. And I used to take such good care of my teeth. I went to the dentist regularly. And okay. And then today, guys, I'm trying to get back. I went to another back surgeon, and I was told I needed back surgery a couple of years ago, and I just ran away. They were talking about rods and screws, and, this is what kills me about the last 15 years. When I walked onto this property, you'll see me singing. No walker, no cane, no wheelchair, no back issues. My skin was flawless. I was thin. I was radiant. I was happy. I was with my buds. And so we was, on this property, I got so sick from being homeless there. And then, I won't go there. Anyway, I got a new surgeon. I saw him today over at Cedars. Really nice guy. He explained it so much better to me than the last one. Guys, I have to tell you, I'm really seeing this. If you don't click with your doctor emotionally, you want a technician. Here I go. I'm on my rant. I can tell when my energy shifts. Into the barber that's about to rant. When I had breast cancer, I went to see the 3 to 4 top breast surgeons in LA. And everybody knows who's had breast cancer, who they are. And, one was just, what did we call him? The butcher. He just wanted to slice and dice. And the way he did surgery is all the women were lined up outside the operating room. Literally, everybody's sitting in a line. I would do one, then the next one, then the next one. I can't remember his name. He was at St. John's. And then I went to one at UCLA. Oh God, I couldn't even deal with the person. It was just like I didn't get anything good about them. And then I ended up going to, where did I go? USC. Can't remember the center. Dr. Silverstein. He's retired, guys, but I would recommend him to all of you. And I remember he was my third one. I was recommended to him by another surgeon, and he was tall man, and he comes to get me in the waiting room. And as soon as I saw him, I started to cry. So something in me knew. I don't know if it was a kindred soul or whatever, and he hugged me. I just met him and he hugged me. And he took me into the room and he looked at all my x-rays and redid my biopsies. He had them reread. He pulled it all together. He pulled the whole picture together. And he actually drew options for me on the board. He wasn't a slice and dice man. His wife had breast cancer, and they did take her breast, and sometimes they have to, but many times they don't. And he said when he saw how tormented she was about losing her breast, he made a commitment as a surgeon that he would do anything he could to preserve women's breasts who had cancer. So he drew about 3 options for me, how to go in. I found it very, very early. I knew I had it. I knew, and I caught it tiny, and it was in the milk duct, which is called in situ, in the site, INSITU. So he gave me some options, and basically he wanted to go in around the areola. I don't even know how to say it. I don't want to say what it is, but around that part. He was going to go in, get it out, get some clean margins. Then they go test it in the lab while you're out on the table. They make sure there's no cancer cells in the margins that they've pulled out. And if they're clean, he doesn't have to take it out anymore. But of course, if there's cancer cells, he has to go in and take out more and more and more and more. And he said to me, what I'll do is I will, kind of push all the fat back into your breast so it's not deformed. So he was working so hard with me on that. And the reason I'm saying that is, with the back surgeon, is, someone said to me, well, do you want someone who's personable, or do you want a really good technician? Because the one at St. John's was a really good technician, boom, 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 But this one, I just loved him. I mean, I go to him every year until he retired just to say hello. I'm already cancer-free, but I go to say, everybody goes to say hello to him. And, but he did both. He had the technical too. But at the time I was choosing, and someone did pose to me, do you want someone technical or someone, that has better bedside manner? Well, Dr. Silverstein had both. And so I lucked out. He did mush me together. I was just slightly smaller than the other one. And ladies who've had breast cancer, it's a journey in itself. I lucked out, but I didn't know I was going to luck out. You don't know. And I went to support groups. I went to meditation groups. It's a whole network. And I'm just remembering one of the groups I went to. I had to stop because there were a couple of women that, every week they came in where it spread somewhere else. And the next week it spread somewhere else. And I was really thinking, I'm filling my mind with all this. And I really was okay. And eventually I did pull out. And, there were women in there who had children. So they weren't as concerned about losing their breast. They wanted to be there for their children. It was really amazing how everybody had a different attitude. I was single. I didn't plan on having children. So I'm looking at it from a viewpoint of a single woman who at the time, I wasn't looking for a relationship at the time, but I knew eventually I would want one. So as a single woman, I was kind of looking at the vanity of it. So some are looking at the vanity, some are looking at that they want to be alive for their children, and some it's spreading like wildfire and they die. And I'm convinced there's a cure, guys. I just know there is, and it's just being hidden. So, so I'm just telling you, do you want someone technical or someone who has good bedside manner? Bringing back myself to the subject is I went to another surgeon today, and I said, isn't there something I can do? It's gotten worse here because I don't have a good bed. I sleep on the floor. I sleep in the hall. I sleep in the basement. And you're homeless. You sleep in, even when I had a car, I tried to squeeze a 5'5" woman in the back seat of a Toyota, a little, what is it? Corolla, Toyota Corolla. Of course I didn't sleep. I'm like all like this. So I've ruined my back just from not having a home base. And here it's gotten much worse. So he can't even see the light of day in my lower spine. The canal has to be like, the spinal canal has to be white where the fluid is. Well, just when you get to my L4, L5, it totally is, like you can't see any light. And he was so careful. He showed it to me. So I really understood what was going on as opposed to the last surgeon I went to. And I did. I've been trying to avoid surgery, guys. I'm so angry at these people at the church. I was going to take into my older days dancing. I love to dance. I'm a Jane Fonda workout girl. I'm a Bikram's yoga girl. I don't think I'm going to ever do these things again. And so it enrages me that these people took my legs, they took my life, they took my body, and it's going to take so long for me to put it back together. And so anyway, he said this, and I could see he's right. We need to, this is what the conclusion is. 2 rods on either side of my lower back, 6 screws to keep those rods in place. Now, I knew that part from the last surgeon, but the damage here, I now have 2 vertebrae, which are like those sponges, are already collapsing. So he has to put 2 new kind of sponges in there. Those have screws. So this is getting worse and worse. So, but because I understood it this time and he took his time with me, it was a whole different energy. I felt more confident about him. And the healing process, it's 3 to 6 months. You can't really do much. And then you don't even know whether or not it actually worked in terms of nerves returning until you heal. And so, the likelihood is once the nerves are damaged, they're damaged. That's it. The hope is to preserve the others from further dying. And hoping that the numbness in my feet, heal. I don't know. So, and he sent me to a hip doctor, which I'll go to next week, to really figure out the whole picture. Because I also had a botched up hip surgery. I fell on this property with all the shit they had all over the grounds. And had to have hip surgery. And so my legs are like this. So it's just, you see why I don't talk about this. So I'm going to start the dental care. I'm going to take all the tests he's asked for. Short of a real miracle, guys, I need the back surgery. So then I come back here. I won't even tell you what happened. I'm seeing the incident. So that's number 1. Number 2 is, I'm going to call these people out too. I'm in an assisted living. Medicare helps pay for this. I'm in a special program. These people have not given me a habitable room. Oh, by the way, if you'll see, I posted the carpet that they gave me. The stains, which smelled like urine and fecal matter when I got here. It was vomit every night at 3 o'clock in the morning. And you'll see, I did a video of it. It's listed under another category. And then when I first moved in and I saw they weren't going to change my room, a friend and I vacuumed it just once. And the vacuum cleaner that you see, that is just one vacuum, one roll around the room. That's how much dirt and dust was in this carpet. And I was breathing all this. That just wouldn't change my room. So they've billed Medicare so far. I don't know why they're not worried about it, because I am going to report it. They've billed Medicare $90,000 for nothing. A filthy room. I haven't gotten any medical care, which I was supposed to have ice on my back, feet up, just more help, bathing, grooming. And I'm supposed to be resting, maybe watching some television, reading books, starting something like this. All I do is leave at 7 or 8 in the morning and come back, like 12. So I'm not sleeping. And I don't eat their food. I just take pictures of it and throw it in the garbage. And so I stopped paying my portion of the rent, which is my whole Social Security check, because I needed money. And I said, you know what, evict me. Not that I know where I'm going, but so I think it's a process. They gave me a notice. It was a defective notice, meaning I could go to the judge and say, look, this wasn't a proper notice. Can you dismiss the case? But usually they don't, and they know it. So I should be served when they can find me. So $90,000 they've gotten from Medicare for nothing. This is what these people do. If I called Medicare and I said, if you would just help give me $1,000 a month for 3 years, that would help me get a normal apartment. I figure rents in LA, the minimum, a studio is $18,000 to $2,000 and up. But I'm sure for $2,000 I could find something. So 2,000 times 12 is 2,000 times 12 is $12,000. I said to them, if you would just give me $1,000 a month instead of these people getting $5,500 a month plus my Social Security, I said I could live on my own. I know the state gives some help, and of course, they're not structured to do that. They'd rather give them $5,500 than me $1,000 for just 3 years. I said, if you just give me 3 years, I know I can turn my life around, and then just be free of being attached to this matrix. And so of course they couldn't. So I am going to report them to the state for fraud, financial fraud, fiduciary fraud, for taking monies without services. And I wrote them a letter about it. They don't seem to care. It's a big corporation. And like I said, getting an attorney for me is almost impossible, pro bono. So that's what's going on. So I'm in my teeth, my back surgery. They're stealing all this money. I'm in a horrible room, but my doctors are all writing letters for me that I need a firm bed. I got this bed that goes down like this. That I need to be in a clean room, which I said I didn't want a carpet. And I'm talking to you as if you've been keeping up with me, but I know a lot of you haven't. So, dentist, my back, fiduciary fraud, and so I'm exhausted. I am so tired. And like I said, I'm trying to do my hair so big so I don't have to see my eyes. But I had my neurologist look at my eyes, and he could see my eyebrow, and he can see this left eyeball is doing something weird. So where is he sending me? Oh, I go to Jules Stein Eye Institute at UCLA. So I have to go there. So this is, guys, what happened. I really am supposed to be dead. This was the intention of these people, that I'd end up in a mental institution, that I would give up on myself, and I would just go away. So this president wouldn't be intimidated by me, and so he could steal all my energy, which he did. A lot of ideas, whatever. When you hear me go whatever, it's because I have things to say and I'm censoring. So where was I? Eyes. Oh yeah, okay. And also, when you're in a very dirty room and there's dust all around, and I would wake up in the morning, that stuff between your eyes that you always you wipe away. Well, it would be excessive. I wiped away my eyelashes from trying to get it out. And, there is a sagging that happens with gravity as we get older. But I was always rubbing my eyes, and I wasn't thinking about my eyelids, the skin. So my eyelids are so heavy over my eyeballs that actually insurance will cover whatever you call it, pulling them up. But I don't want to look like people on Rodeo Drive. You know, I don't want to have that face that everybody on Rodeo Drive has the same face from plastic surgery, you know, pulled tight, eyeballs like that. I swore I would never have plastic surgery, but I think it's in store for me. So, so I already did the ugly cry. And people are seeing my podcast, and I am getting some calls. What I thought was not seen by people was seen by people. This is just a few. And I'm dreaming every night vividly about someone in the church and some friends. Every night I have a vivid dream about someone. The night before night it was a couple. Last night it was someone that I had reached out to help with housing because he's in real estate. And he's a little too close to the church. Let's just put it that way. So what I've been thinking about, guys, is my number one lesson out of this that I want to share with people is God is the number one before relationships, before family, before kids. You know, and I repeat the same thing over and over. The mind, everybody has a mind. Everybody has a set of emotions. And unless someone's really extremely healed and whole, the chances are of a lot of projection of wounds onto you. It's just not good. If you don't have two whole people together, this one and together, there's a lot of sandpapering that has to happen. And the more wounded two people are when they come together, forget it. They have no chance. Even with the best tools, it would be hard. So, and that's another thing we'll talk about sometime, is healing oneself before you get into a relationship. If you could just isolate and be by yourself for a while. I mean, I took it to the extreme, 15 years. So I was able to, I wasn't. God somehow melted my buttons, my trigger buttons, and any issues that I had. So I kind of came out on top, which we'll talk about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So I'm blessed to be here, and I'm also so sad. I'm just so sad about what it's done to me. And, oh, and I should say the little girl in me. Oh, I had such a great video of me in pigtails. My little girl was so excited to play with you, and that one dropped out. It was my best one. It was the best. It was the best. You know, you can never reduplicate a moment. You can never go back to your old neighborhood. They say you can never go back. You can't go back. It's always now, 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 now. So I'll do a little brief lesson. Is Maslow did a hierarchy of needs, and basically he talks about, you know, like a triangle, which I drew. So when you start out and you're born, you have the influence of your parents, your relatives. Then you go to school, you've got the school, you've got your friends. There's all this incoming influence, and you're kind of lost in everybody else's thoughts and emotions and what other people are expecting you to be. You know, and then as you get older, as you start making your own choices, you start to become more whole. And you keep going, and if you do your work, you keep going, and you're coming up, and the ultimate is to get to the top of the triangle. The term would be triangle, where you are what's called self-actualized, where you no longer are at the effect of other people's consciousnesses and caring what people think. I'm not saying this right tonight. When you get to the top, there's only room for one at the top of a triangle. So basically, you have to get to that place where you're standing alone. It's you and God. And then right below that would be two people. kind of like a bowling. When you bowl, you have all the pins. Get to the next level, it's 3 people. So, I mean, I think everybody's goal would be to be with a partner, which would be 2, but both people have to have their own triangles. Both people have to be standing at the top of their triangle. So, of course, the ideal is to have 2 actualized people who are both looking in the same direction, have similar dreams, or at least similar purposes. So it's not so much that 2 people look at each other. It's more that 2 people look out into the universe, into creation, into God, with the same motivation, same agenda, same purposes. They don't have to be identical, but at least they're both looking in the same direction. So it's almost like they're connected to support each other, to celebrate each other, to do some sandpapering. No one's perfect, but that they're looking in the same direction. And if you have one partner looking here, like when I was married, when my husband started to go to law school, we were both looking in the same direction. He was going to be a history professor. I was going to be a teacher and then principal. Like I saw myself going up teaching in college. But when he went to law school, he pivoted and he got into the ego. He got into the money. And I was still very much a humanitarian. And it was very obvious that we were no longer going in the same direction. It had to go. And it was good that it did. So I'm older now and I know more now. And, if I'm not going in the same direction with someone, I've learned too much. We're either both going to build our empire and support each other, or why bother? When you get to the point where you can stand alone, you really don't need that kind of relationship. You don't need to be married even. Another whole topic. So the goal is to get to the top. So I'll just hang in here, but I'll just show it to you. Where am I? I'll put it there. So if you look at the top, I'm not going to get up tonight. So if you look at the triangle, you'll see on the bottom, what did I write? Oh gosh, I can't even see it. Okay, yeah, your city, your neighborhood, your parents are all influencing you at the bottom. But if you look at the top, you'll see there's 2 people kind of looking at each other. But then at the top, it's just me. So you want to do your work, your inner work, where you're at the top, where at least you know how to stand alone, you know how to have self-sovereignty over your inner kingdom, and you are being productive in the outer world as well. So Maslow describes each of those lessons, what the needs are. And of course, the bottom is where I fell when I was homeless. I've been in survival mode for so long. Let me just pull it back. Okay, so you got the picture of the triangle. When you're in survival mode, not only is your nervous system a wreck, which I'm just now trying to figure out what to do with that, but I'm worried about food. Where am I sleeping? Letting go of my teeth, having to let go of my looks. My hair's in a ponytail. Who makeup? What hair? What? Who has time for that? So, and I'm still in survival mode, more than I'm even telling you. But yet somehow I have this part that's in survival mode, but with God's help, I really have catapulted to a transcendent space. And I've told you guys this. The humiliation, the smear campaign, the judgments, the violations, the betrayals. I'm so over it. And the only thing that hurts, that remains, is I have to look in the mirror every day. And I haven't looked in the mirror for years. It's not until I did this podcast that I have been looking in the mirror. When I look at the phone, I see just me. it just breaks my heart because I took care of myself. I ate right. I exercised. I kept good skin. I kept my teeth good. And to lose it all because of one motherfucker who was so controlling and manipulative and deceitful and demonic. Demonic is my new word, because I'm getting some information from pretty psychic people who have been coming forward to help me, who know just what this person was like. So I'm getting a lot of validation that I'm not alone. You know, I thought other people see this in him and have seen it for years. And I'm just finding that now. I'm finding out that now. So, so it just breaks my heart that I'm not going to dance again. I'm not going to be able to do my swing dancing and be twirled all over the floor, which is what I did. And tap dancing, I won't be able to tap dance. And my feet have an issue too. So dance shoes are gone with all my possessions. So I've lost everything, guys. And I'm trusting that God's going to restore. I don't want anything near what I had. I had a lot, accumulated a lot, but I miss my music. I miss my books. I miss my microphone, my little baby blanket, my Barbie doll, my Ken doll. I have my 45s. So as much as I have reached what I think is the top, actually, I mean, there's always higher and higher, but I can stand alone. I always did stand alone. I was always advocating for myself, always advocating for me or someone else. So this is kind of a miscellaneous podcast. I'm going to put miscellaneous. So yeah, whoever's watching my videos, thank you. I'm sure no one's finishing them because they're too long. They're an hour. And, oh God, I dread going to sleep here. I'm in a corner right now, you know, but when I get into the middle of the room, it's awful. So, so if they evict me, it'll take at least April, May. It could possibly be stretched out to June. I am definitely going to do a trial. I already told them already. I am not settling. And I said to them in my letter, I hope you have, I hope you're going to be able to explain to the judge, 12 jurors, and 3 alternates why you gave me this room. I mean, I have the videotape, I have the pictures. Now I've got the vacuum cleaner dust. And I said I'm looking forward to see how you're going to explain that to a jury. I told them I'm not going to settle. Tell your attorney I'm not settling. I don't care, and I'm going to take it to trial. And I eventually am going to upload the stuff onto the internet. You know, I would like it to go viral. These nursing facilities are so abusive to the patients. And they steal so much money. I have someone down the hall. He's paying $18,000 out of his pocket. The rooms are $3,000. How they're getting $18,000 out of him? This is what they do. If you come in without family, I've told you this, guys, and he's alone, I'm alone. If you don't come in with a son or a daughter that they know is watching over, they will take advantage of the rent, and they also will not treat you well. But if they know you have someone, I'm a little confused here. If you come in with a daughter or son, you're good. But if you come in alone and single like me, forget it. They won't pay attention to you. They'll bully you, whatever. I had a Lyft driver. His mother was in one of these, and before he gave me my walker from the trunk, he says, well, I'll be your son. Take my number. He says, I'll come over and visit you. So I haven't taken him up on it, but, and his daughter would help me with my technology. So I have to call him, which I haven't. So I'm so sorry. I'm just exhausted emotionally and mentally, and I just need rest. This is not issues. This is just rest, needed rest. I've been silent long enough. It's just about resting in a clean place, a cute little clean place. So anyway, I will sign off, and I will say scattered and miscellaneous on the podcast. And I still have more to post. I did lose a few, but there's more I have to put up. So guys, I had a little baby boomer toy I've been wanting to do, and I'm getting not now. So anyway, so just remember Maslow's hierarchy of needs, that your goal is to heal yourself, do the inner work, call on God to pull you right up to the top. And I said I hate preaching, but you know, the essence behind what I'm doing is, you know what came to me? This is so, well, to make God your Lord and Savior. I know that people talk about Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, but I do honor Jesus as with Christ as an elder brother for me and a teacher, but I was forced to go to the boss, the main man. And some people believe you can't go straight to God. And I'm glad I didn't buy that. So those of you who are hesitating to have a relationship with Spirit and God because you think it has to be through Jesus Christ, I have found that not to be accurate. If you just call out God's name, he will come. You know, and later down the line, he may say, hey, Jesus Christ has something to teach you. Buddha has something to teach you. Archangel Michael has something to teach you. I used to read the Quran too. I've read every religious book. Oh my God. So anyway, God first, you second, a mate third. You know, I wonder which come first. Your kids, if they're married. I wonder. Okay. So good night, everybody. God bless you. I will post this, and I will post it. It's just so hard to get on like this. And I'm even praying for my hair to grow back. I don't know if that's going to happen. So I've got a lot of work ahead of me, and I did my passion project for me. I figure maybe I'm, having magical thinking to think that I could heal in 3 years. By the time this presidency is over, I want to be in a whole different place and ready to fly again. And these people will be out of my life. I'll have new people in my life, and I will be able to go forward as Superwoman. Okay, guys, good night. God bless you, and I'll speak to you soon. I feel like there's something else I'm supposed to say. Is there anything else I need to tell you? Hold it. No. Yeah, if you could pray for me with this assisted living. You know, this is my third one. I would like this to go viral. One assisted living, one nursing home, sufficiently thrown under the rug, deservingly so, would warn everybody else to stop the abuse, all the elder abuse. And I know I can't do it myself. I would need an attorney, unless I really could get this to go viral. So yeah, this next 3 years, I'm going to be calling out everyone and everything that attempted to do me in, who thought that I was either weak or too strong, underqualified, overqualified, too fat, too thin, the whole thing that women go through. It's like no matter what, it just doesn't work. It's like, and this is the feminine energy is coming forward. We're definitely coming out there. Okay, God bless you. Good night. Bye.